Hello and welcome to the channel. The United Kingdom is taking a leaf from the US playbook, who they reason not to grant visa to Nigeria electoral corporates found wanting for the violence that marred the Saturday's governorship election. Now, the UK has went a step further by promising to list offenders as well as sanction those found culpable. It is certainly hotting up as we speak. Applying the pressure not pass like this. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Let's get to it. UK to list electoral offenders, plans sanction. The British High Commission has said the UK Minister of State for Development and Africa, Andrew Mitchell, MP, is prepared to take action against those who engaged in or incited electoral violence during the just concluded general elections. The Commission said the UK was already collating names of perpetrators and would impose sanctions including preventing people from obtaining UK visas or imposing sanctions under our human rights sanctions regime. In a statement made available to our correspondent on Wednesday, the High Commission said, "We can confirm that we are collating relevant information with a view to taking action against some individuals." The High Commission, which said it deployed observers in 6 states, noted there were notable points of concern. Members of our observation mission personally observed violence and voter suppression in numerous voting locations. We witnessed and received credible reports from other observer missions and civil society organizations of vote buying and voter intimidation, the destruction and hijacking of election materials, and the general disruption of the process in numerous states including Lagos, Enugu, and Rivers. In addition, we observed incidents of harassment of journalists. Freedom of speech and a free press is crucial for a healthy democracy, and journalists must be able to go about their work without being threatened. The UK is concerned by the use of inflammatory, ethno-religious language by some public and political figures. We call on all leaders not just to distance themselves from this kind of language, but to prevent those who speak on their behalf from doing so in this way. It is a testament to their commitment to democracy that many Nigerians were prepared to vote despite being faced with intimidation and hostility. It, however, commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for improving on its performance during the governorship and state houses of assembly elections on March 18. The high level of electoral offenses witnessed in the 2023 elections reflects the failure of the Nigerian state and its institutions to ensure clean polling and to bring perpetrators and their sponsors to justice. As Nigerians and domestic and international poll watchers take stock of the shambolic elections, the evidence of the lack of effective deterrence is written in the blood-spilled ballot boxes and voting materials captured or smashed, intimidation and voter suppression across the country. Until electoral offenders, especially politicians and public officials, are severely punished under the law, impunity at the polls will continue to escalate. Regular elections are the ultimate expression of the people's sovereign will and a defining characteristic of democracy. Where the integrity of election is degraded through the subversion of otherwise sacrosanct processes and procedures, the results and winners lack legitimacy. Even worse, where leaders emerge through compromised elections, democracy becomes a charade that differs from autocratic rule only in its expensive mimicry through institutions that undermine rather than facilitate the people's choice. Unfortunately, successive elections conducted in the country have produced questionable results due to compromised processes. Indeed, the failure of the law enforcement agencies and the Independent National Electoral Commission to bring purveyors of electoral malpractices and violence to justice has stoked the fire of impunity. The fouling up of elections and the acrimony that accompanies balloting results in endless litigation. This delegitimizes the electoral system and hinders participatory democracy from taking deeper root in the country. Sadly, winners from the party primaries to the open contest are often determined by the courts, not the votes of the majority. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. The promise by INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu that the Commission would set up a legal team to speedily deal with the electoral offenders of the February 25th presidential and National Assembly polls should be accompanied by decisive action. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has similarly ordered his field command to complete investigations and send the files to INEC. All those arrested for breaching the electoral laws during that and subsequent polls should be prosecuted without further delay. Nigeria's elections are notoriously fraught, and the 2023 elections have been particularly marred by malpractices and violence. This is hardly surprising since the politicians perverting the electoral process since 1999 are never brought to justice. They were out in force on February 25th and on March 18 during the presidential and NAS and the state governorship and state houses of assembly elections respectively. The EFCC arrested 65 suspected electoral offenders nationwide last week. In Sokoto, it intercepted 35 bales of fabrics allegedly belonging to a principal officer of the Sokoto State House of Assembly meant for voter inducement. And in Agungu local government area, Kebbi State, it nabbed another suspect with a vehicle loaded with fabrics and other items earmarked for vote buying. In Kaduna, a suspect involved in vote buying was nabbed at School Road. Ongwan Rimi, one Buhari Mohammed found with voter coupons, was also taken into custody in the state, while 2 individuals were apprehended for vote buying. They were caught with 67,500 naira, a list containing names of voters with their permanent voter card numbers and bank account details. 6 men and 2 ladies were picked up in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, with a list of names, telephone, and account numbers of voters. In Ogun State, anti-narcotic officers arrested 4 party agents with money and credit cards to be used to buy votes at Ibara, Abeokuta. Even more deadly were the various cases of violence, intimidation, and voter suppression. Thugs touched the house of a former President General of the Urhobo Progress Union, Joe Omene, in Mosoga, Ethiop East local government area, Delta State. During the counting of votes at a polling unit located in a primary school in Oredo, Edo State on Saturday, thugs snatched the ballot papers and boldly walked away. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.